Good evening and happy Sabbath, everyone. We're reading from our book, Strength for the Day, and the lesson is entitled, And Yet. Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. Job 13, verse 15. After my fifth cancer scare in 3 years, to say I was feeling a little like Job was an understatement. 4 different types of cancer and precancerous lumps turned up in rapid succession. One of the cancers, melanoma, visited twice, and yet will I hope in him. Charles Ellicott's Bible commentary calls the sentiments in Job 13 verse 15 an expression of living trust. I think that is why this verse resonates so much with me. To me, living trust, living hope, signifies perpetual motion. An expression of living trust in our good God is not something I say once and forget. It is something I express again and again, daily, sometimes hourly, as each new wave of fear and uncertainty threatens to engulf me. Chemotherapy and surgery, and yet will I hope in him. Radiation treatment and immunotherapy, and yet will I hope in him. Anti-cancer tablets and their side effects for the next decade, and yet will I hope in him. So how did Job get to a place of and yet? How can I? Like Job, I learned to be careful whom I surrounded myself with during cancer treatment. I tried not to spend time with people who judged my choices or scolded me for taking or not taking this or that treatment. When my mind's natural tendency was toward catastrophic thinking, I memorized Bible verses or listened to quieting music. A friend encouraged me to read a psalm a day, and often the psalm perfectly captured my mood, foul or fair. It was as if the psalmists were in my head. I tried to take care of myself, body, mind, and spirit. I would rise early and walk for an hour. I avoided doom scrolling on my devices and switched off the 24-hour news cycle. I fed my mind with good books and filled my spare time with uplifting activities and journaling. Like Job, the more I reflected on God's character, the more I learned to trust that He had a deeper purpose in my difficulties. While I wait to see that unfold, I trust Him to keep me in His grace. Indeed, this will turn out for my deliverance. Verse 16. I will wait for my renewal to come. Job 14, verse 14. Yes, this is hard, and yet will I hope in him. Denise Murray Goods. I don't know about you folks, but I have been encouraged. Denise is going through a lot, but yet she will hope in him. So this reminds us that Job has done it. He's been through it and God has strengthened him. Miss Denise is going through it and she's still being strengthened by the Lord. So if you yourself are going through an ordeal, whether it be health-wise, financially, spiritually, emotionally, whatever aspect of your life is being challenged, just remember, and yet will you hope in him. And that's all he wants us to do. So, thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next time when we read from Strength for the Day.